Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. The sun is out, in Sudbury at least. Donna, you are number one on the hit parade this morning. The roll call. Here we go. Good morning, Jeffrey. Good morning. Number two on the hit parade. And here we go. We got folks watching us this morning. Raja. Good morning. And hey, the scroll is slow this morning. Annette. Nouveau Brunswick. Good morning, Annette. How are you? Okay. Frida. Nice to have you on this morning. We're going to do a question and answer because we got enough questions here to, even though we did one on Monday. Bruno, good morning. Nice to have you on. Okay. And Anne, how are you? From St. Catherine's. Good to have you on. Boy, the scroll is slow this morning. Len and Judy, Edmonton, Alberta. Good morning. And Alma. Hey, we got some new folks on. At least to some people I haven't said hello to before. Good to have you on. We really appreciate it. Patricia. And yeah, I don't know if it's my device here. Ruby. Oh, I wish I could sing. And Lisa Marie, good morning. And nice to have you on. And Mary. Okay. I think I'm going to get started because my scroll is very slow. So if you're trying to get on the roll call today, I don't know what's happening. Chantal, good morning. We appreciate it. Okay. Now look at, here's the questions this morning from Kay. I have a question about omega-3, acid ethyl esters. My doctor wrote a prescription for it and wants me to take it. Well, I'll tell you, your doctor I like because your doctor's telling you to take omega-3. Most doctors, by the way. I remember this is 15 years ago or more. Yeah, probably even longer than that. I used to do educational conferences on nutrition for doctors. They actually could get credits for their annual, they have to put so many hours in to keep up their education. And I worked for a service in Toronto, and I actually did it in Montreal, whatever. They'd set up a 1 or 2 day conference, and then the doctors could go and get their hours that they needed for their credits. And almost every profession makes you get credits every year to keep up your license. Anyway, I was part of that for a while, for a few years, and it would do educational series. I found out doctors don't know much about nutrition, but when I had them put their hands up, I remember asking the question, how many of you take omega-3? And a lot of doctors put their hands up. It was surprising. But even back then, that omega-3 was well known to be good for you, especially for your heart. And cardiologists would take omega-3. I said, you bunch of hypocrites, why don't you recommend it to your patients too? Because they were taking it. Anyway, so Kay, The answer is your doctor gave you a prescription because these are synthetic DHA and EPA. They're synthesized. They are synthetic. They're not in a natural form. Doesn't mean they're not any good. It's like willow bark, right? You know how they make aspirin? The willow bark. But it's synthetic. It's not natural willow bark. I love pine bark. And aspirin is a synthetic form of willow bark. Esters are an omega-3 made by the pharmaceutical companies. Okay? And again, I don't think it's as good. I like high DHA. Ours is a natural form, highly bioavailable and much better for you. But I'm glad, Kay, in a way that your doctor is thinking omega-3. Folks, don't worry about omega-6. We get way too much of that. Worry about omega-3. Omega-6 is inflammatory. Omega-3 is an anti-inflammatory. So when you're eating fish or eating grass-fed beef, you're getting lots of omega-3. I love the high DHA oil that we make. It is the highest that you can get. I haven't seen higher. I honestly haven't. I'm big on DHA. You know why I'm big on DHA? Because your brain is made up of DHA. If someone calls you fathead, take it as a compliment. The more good fat you put in your brain, the better your brain works, okay? And the better your heart works. Imagine fat for your heart. Yep. But look at DHA. The way I think of DHA and think of omega-3 is it's like slippery. And it keeps your blood vessels, helps them not just anything to stick like plaque. So I'm big on that. Thanks, Kay, for the question. Cheryl's asking, would estrogen be the cause of migraines in a teenage boy? I had to think about that, Cheryl, because I'm going to tell you something. Migraines in women is 99.9% estrogen dominance. Too much estrogen compared to your progesterone. Ladies, it's all about balance. And when you get out of balance between your estrogen and your progesterone, and I don't care how old you are, you can have estrogen dominance at 70 years old. You have more estrogen than your progesterone. Progesterone is the balancer. Now, in a male, it's possible that testosterone is too low. Very possible in this day and age. Testosterone has taken a big hit today in men. Testosterone is your dominating hormone. You should never, ever, under any circumstance, have more estrogen than testosterone in a male. Ladies, you never have to worry about testosterone. You make some, but if you have balance, it'll be perfectly balanced. In men, you never want estrogen to be above testosterone. And this could be happening to that young man. Now, the other thing I look for in migraines is a lack of magnesium. There's no magnesium. We'll talk about this because I think there's another question coming up here. In the soil anymore. And a lot of people are low in magnesium. And that can give you a migraine. I get a migraine every day when I get upset. When I get upset, it's not because of a lack of testosterone. It's because when I see the world telling us not to eat meat, the world telling us to be carboholics, such nonsense, that gives me a headache. Okay. It's possible, Cheryl. And you can dim them out, get that estrogen down, and by taking the hormonal formula. Okay. Lise, what do you recommend for high creatine? Well, if your creatine is high, Lise, you got kidney stress. Your kidneys are under stress. What stresses the kidneys? 4 things. What stresses your kidneys? Number 1, sugar. Sugar will stress your kidneys. If you don't believe me, ask a diabetic. Diabetic, why is there so much, kidney problems in a diabetic? Because sugar destroys blood vessels and your kidneys operate on blood vessels. Okay? Got it? So, sugar is very destructive. That can elevate your kidney, your creatinine. 2, a lack of water. Remember, your kidneys are Niagara Falls. I went by Niagara Falls this week. Water's running 24/7. That's what should happen with your kidneys. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, wait till you're thirsty to drink water. I hear that all the time. I think that is malpractice if a doctor says it. It is craziness. You need water. You're like planet Earth. It's 75% water, planet Earth. Did you know that? So is your body. It's 75% water, and you better drink it. And only water is water. Only water is water. Now, the other thing that affects your kidneys are oxalates. What are oxalates? When you think you're a rabbit and you're not. That's what oxalates are. When you live on veggies and fruit, they come from the plant kingdom. That'll stress your kidneys. Okay? Oxalates. When you live on spinach, don't live on it. Too many women live on it. Very hard on the kidneys. Oxalates calcify. 75% of kidney stones are what? Oxalates. Now, the 4th thing is uric acid. 25% of kidney stones are uric acid. People think of uric acid, they think of gout. Most people don't get gout, but they can have high uric acid. How do you make uric acid? Uric acid is a biomarker. And the biggest reason is high fructose Frankenstein-like sugar. High fructose corn syrup. Artificial. Very hard on your liver. We talked about it. Was it last week? We talked about high fructose corn syrup and what it does. Fructose. Oh, it sounds so healthy, Doc. Fructose. Ooh, it's not. Talk about migraines. I'm starting to get one. High fructose corn syrup destroys your liver. High fructose corn syrup destroys, what were we talking about last week? Your pancreas. They're showing that it destroys the beta cells that produce insulin, insulin resistance. So high fructose corn syrup and even drinking fructose, never drink fructose. Don't drink orange juice. It's going to elevate your uric acid levels, which is very damaging to your kidneys, and it's very inflammatory. 4 things that are hard on your kidneys: sugar, insulin, a lack of water, oxalates, and uric acid, which is sugar again, but it's high fructose corn syrup. It's the sugar of choice by the food industry. And they invented it in a lab. It's synthetic. It ain't good for you. Got the memo? Okay, let's move on. Thank you very much, Lise. Norma, what causes someone's eyes to close in bright light? Well, Norma, look, that's you. That's you. Doesn't mean you're deficient in anything or whatever. It's the way you're built. And what are you going to do? Don't look into the sun. You know, I would tell you, Norma, get used to it a little bit, because I'm not big on using sunglasses for about 10-15 minutes. Let your eyes get, especially in the morning, let your eyes get melatonin. Okay? You don't even need to be outside to get melatonin into your pineal gland. Your pineal gland produces melatonin in sunlight. Now, you got to be outside to get vitamin D. That's different. Can't get vitamin D from the sun. You're sitting by a window. Now, that's good for you. It is. You got a sunroom? Excellent. I mean it. Because of melatonin. And because of the hormones. The dopamine. And the serotonin. And those feel-good hormones. They're good for you. But you don't get vitamin D unless you're outside. And you got to have your arms exposed and the leg. That's why in the wintertime you're not getting vitamin D. You're getting melatonin though, which is good. Melatonin is good for you. It's an antioxidant. It's powerful. Very, very important in sleep. Okay? But Norma, I'm not going to say the word weird. I'm going to say the word unique. You're unique. Nah, you and lots of other people are like that. Okay? I'm not, I don't think you're going to turn it around so much. But it's just the way you're built. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin D and make sure you're getting your melatonin by, don't look up in the sun, just it's a bright day out. Enjoy. Okay. Carol's asking about her mother, 81 years old. Well, you say hi to your mom for me, Carol. Okay. And swollen legs, edema, for quite some time, couple of years. She had varicose veins, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, I mean, here's a couple of things that can cause edema. I talk about this all the time, but it's worth repeating. One, we've just talked about it. Dehydration. I don't know your mom, but a lot of seniors, they just don't drink enough water. They don't get enough electrolytes. They can be on medication, almost any medication, Carol, will take minerals out of your mom's body, and the body's trying to retain them. So now you get edema. Your mom could have, and I don't know, I'm just giving you some ideas, your mom could have congestive heart failure, meaning the pump. Your heart's a pump. Your heart's a muscle. And you're just not getting enough of the pump. And so the blood goes down, but it has trouble coming back. And that can be a microcirculation thing in the legs. So a lot of times I tell people, even with edema, to wear compression socks. Compression socks. Drink water. Put some salt in there. Oh, my doctor said that's salt. Salt's good for you. Don't blame salt for what sugar does. It's not the salt. And don't use table salt. I don't like table salt because it's not really salt. If someone calls you salty, take it as a compliment. You cry salt. Your blood's full of salt. You need salt. It was so stupid when they tell you, that's going to elevate your blood pressure. The only time salt will elevate your blood pressure is if you're not drinking enough water. That's what happens in Niagara Falls if you turn off the tap. Okay. And Carol, can you explain if the common triggers for reflux, garlic, onions, lemon, coffee? Coffee? Carol, you can't say anything negative about coffee. Vitamin C? Are you kidding me? I'm just teasing. Okay, well look, and Carol's saying, can you sort of talk about like what's happening there, okay? Well, look, let me give you what I used to call the Cole's Notes version. I don't use that word too much, Cole's Notes. When I was in high school, I got through high school on Cole's Notes. You got to be my age to even know what that is, right? You had little wee notes, and they sort of, a little wee book, and it sort of gave you lessons in very short, on the courses you were taking, from history to this or that, whatever. The Cole's Notes version. Now, let me give you the Google's version. Okay? Let me give you, Carol, the Google's version. Okay. You can have trouble with your digestive tract from the top or the bottom. Okay? What do I mean by that? I'm a huge guy on the upper GI. Your stomach needs to be acidic, very acidic, between 1 and 3 on the acidity scale. The lower, the better. The more acid, the only place you want to be acidic, and that's your body is so smart, is in that furnace, your stomach. A big problem. If you, like when you're saying, Carol, garlic and onions and lemon bothers my stomach. You know why? Because you don't have, most times, don't have enough acidity in your stomach. Your stomach needs that high acidity for a few reasons. One, to micro-size your food. You want to mulch it up big time. It's going into the furnace, your stomach. You need it for protein. And here's why. Let me just give you a reason why we see so much of stomach acid reflux. Why do we see so, Doc, why is acid reflux? It's off the charts today. Yep. The vast majority of people have acid reflux. I mean it. PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, are one of the leading prescriptions and over-the-counter meds that people take. They got so much trouble with their stomach, but they refuse to change their diet. Don't worry about the triggers, fix the cause. You don't have enough acidity in your stomach, the upper GI. You're not making enough bile because you're not using your gallbladder enough. Yeah, use it or lose it. I've only been saying that for 50 years. Use your gallbladder or lose it. You know how many people, even on this program today, listening, have lost their gallbladders? And they're mostly women because they bought the lie of fat makes you fat. Fat don't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. But when you buy that line, you're staying away from fat. Use your gallbladder. Use it. See, your stomach. Your stomach. When you don't use bile, will get in and alkalize your stomach. And now you don't have enough acidity. And now you're not breaking down food properly. Now, you see, the other reason that you need a lot of acidity in your stomach is you don't want any pathogens getting into the intestines, the small intestine. What do you guys talk? What do we talk about? What new term did we together agree happens in the small intestine? SIFO. I know medicine calls it SIBO. Big problem today. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. But you and I changed that. Small intestine fungal overgrowth. How does fungus get into your small intestine? When you don't have enough acidity in your stomach. That's how you can get bacteria. That's how you can get C. difficile. That's how you get all sorts of pathogens. Pathogens, you see, your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. It's made to stop those pathogens right in their tracks in your stomach when you have good acidity. But when you don't, you're in trouble. You won't break down your food properly. And food that gets into the small intestine, undigested, or partially digested, your body says, what is that? That's how you get food intolerances. Your body goes, what is that just came in here? That doesn't look like steak to me. And it creates antigens. And now you get an autoimmune. You get food intolerances. So for me, what I do, when I go on the upper GI, I'm always trying to fix the stomach. That's why I love digestive enzymes, to break that food down and keep your acidity. And that's why I like the reset. The reset, you know what the reset does? When you get off sugars and when you temporarily get off the veggies, and just temporarily, you're allowing your stomach to become more acidic. And when you don't have enough acidity, guess what happens? You get a reflux. You get the reflux coming in, either through the valve, where the valve won't close properly, or you can damage that valve. Your body says, I got to make up for the acidity in your stomach. And so those proton pumps release all that acid, and that goes up the esophagus. You can get a post-nasal drip. You can get always, your throat is full of phlegm. Even when you're eating too many grains, that's hard on your stomach. They're very inflammatory. Oh, doc, it's 21 grain bread. I don't care. It ain't good for you. I like it. It tastes good, but it ain't good for you. Grains are very hard on the stomach acidity. Okay, now I got off, Carol, on a tangent, but that's me. Okay, thanks for the question. Cheryl, what does Dr. Martin think about drinking ketones? Nah, I don't think much of it. Well, you can drink ketones, right? If you make yourself a bulletproof coffee. You want to put cream in it, okay? And butter. You know, I know bulletproof is butter and grass-fed butter and MCT oil, right? A medium chain fatty acid oil, and it goes to your liver and you're burning ketones. Don't spend any money on that, guys. Don't do it. It's not. Eat eggs, meat, and cheese. That's the best thing you can do. Okay? So, Cheryl, look, if you want to do it, but, you know, bulletproof coffee or whatever. I love coffee. I don't necessarily care about bulletproof coffee. Okay? I'm not saying it's hurtful, but the benefits, me. Okay, that's me. Richard, Dr. Martin, what would create an excessive plaque on teeth? Well, usually because you got a fungal. The mouth is, if you don't have enough probiotic, even in your mouth, friendly bacteria, to destroy the bad, the plaque can develop. And usually when people have a lot of trouble with plaque, it's because they do not have enough microbiome, a good microbiome in their mouth. Microbiome is everywhere. You live with bacteria. And I'm not big on using these mouthwashes and stuff like that just destroy. I like oil of oregano for your teeth. Okay? I do. It's the best. Okay, thanks, Richard. Teresa, how does one get iodine into one's diet? Well, the best form of iodine is eggs, meat, and cheese. See, one of the problems with iodine, I talked about it earlier. What's lacking in the soil? Magnesium, iodine, zinc. It's a big problem today. There's not a lot of that. If you don't have enough stomach acidity, even your trace minerals, you're not going to absorb them. You might be eating them, but you're not going to absorb them. It's really important to have good stomach acidity. Again, there's another reason. You want to microsize your food. Now listen, Himalayan salt's not high in iodine, but you can take an iodine supplement. I used to give it to patients with thyroid. I have a thyroid formula with the right amount of iodine in it, if your thyroid's not working. But when you're eating eggs, meat, and cheese, it's amazing how much better your thyroid works. You want to destroy your thyroid? Eat sugar. Eat the way we eat today. Why do we see so much thyroid? Well, there's a lot of other reasons too, but that's one of them. Okay. Now, okay, Chris, 9 days on the reset, yellow diarrhea. Guess what's happening? Well, let me finish. Since I have no gallbladder. Yep. So what's happening? Your body is cleaning its liver. You don't have a gallbladder. Gallbladder does not produce bile. The gallbladder is a reservoir for bile. Your liver is what produces bile. And guess what's happening? You're cleaning your liver. You're emptying your liver on the reset, and you're getting a little bit of yellow diarrhea. It's good for you. You're cleaning out your liver. That's what's happening, Chris. Okay? Can the liver react on this severely on its own without a gallbladder? Yeah, absolutely it can. That's not, don't think of it as being so negative. You're cleaning up. You're emptying that liver. The liver's got to be empty. It's the Costco parking lot. Send the cars home. Rita, what do you think about pulling a tooth or a root canal instead? Well, look, I'm not big on root canals. Look, I ain't a dentist, okay? But when you deaden the root, because that's what a root canal is, you're killing it. The teeth stays, the tooth stays there, but you're deadening that root in the nerve. I think that becomes a reservoir for bacteria. So if you've got a root canal, make sure you're using oil of oregano. Brush your teeth with it. Rinse with it. Kill those bacteria. Okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you an idea. Rita. Bonnie. What would be the suggestion to take or to eat the DHA instead of DHA upgraded? Okay, look, that's a good question, Bonnie. I got to tell you for me, okay? See this face? 70 years on the planet. By the grace of God, okay? I'm very thankful. For me, DHA is the best omega-3 in the universe. I love it. How do you get it from food? Fish, steak. Fish, steak. Especially grass-fed beef. Nothing better. It's got more DHA than fish. But fish is good, whatever. I tell people every day, because people say, Doc, do you like fish? I said, yep, in a capsule. That's how I eat fish. When I see you guys fishing, okay, I go, I love the fishermen because I eat the fish when they put it in a capsule. I'm not a big fish eater, okay, but it's good for you. Now, I like supplementing with DHA, especially at my age. Why? I need to preserve my gray matter up there. Okay? I just want my brain to work. I operate like that. And I know what DHA does. The supplement of DHA, what it does. You're not getting a higher DHA in the world than what I offer my patients, because the reason I did that is because I understand the importance of DHA. EPA is good too, but it ain't DHA. So that's up to you. For me, I'm into protecting my brain. With everything in this world today, and Alzheimer's being the #1 killer in the United Kingdom and #3 in Canada, especially as I get older, I want to protect my brain. Plus, DHA protects your heart. DHA protects your blood vessels. DHA is good for your gut. DHA, the studies have shown, it helps to explode, destroy tumors in 13 or 14 days. It's incredible. Anyway, so I leave that up to you, my friend. Okay? Bonnie, I leave that up to you. But for me, and I did it with my patients. I said, here's what you got to do, man. You got to get on the high DHA oil. I give it to kids with ADD and ADHD, autism. It is fantastic for their brains. Unbelievable the results I got with that stuff. Okay, Marilyn, I cannot digest raw veggies. Well, I'm going to tell you why, Marilyn. It's the upper GI. It's your tum-tum. It's your stomach. You don't have enough acidity. So either you fix that or don't eat them. You cook them. Cook the veggies if you have to. Okay? Put them on your barbecue. They taste better, in my opinion. Okay. And Michelle, okay, a couple more. I would like to ask if he recommends, I guess talking about me, boron supplements. Nope, I don't recommend. I like boron. Boron is a trace mineral. You need it. But you get it. You know what the best source of boron is? I'm waiting. Dairy. Don't ditch dairy. Switch dairy. Don't drink milk. Eat cheese. And you're going to get lots of boron. I put boron in our hair formula. Okay? But I'm a big guy on eating it. It's in dairy. When people tell you don't eat dairy, I don't like that because they don't know what they're talking about. But I don't want you to drink your dairy. I want you to eat your dairy. How do you like that? And I don't mean ice cream either. Okay? I don't mean ice cream. Oh, she wanted to know, Michelle, about prunes. I guess prunes got boron in it, do they? Don't eat prunes. You know how sweet that is? Lots of sugar. Okay? Teresa. Now, hypercalcemia cause oxalate stones and corrosion of the bones. Hypercalcemia. Well, you get hypercalcemia when your parathyroid glands are not working properly. You can get too much calcium. That's why I like vitamin K2. What does vitamin K2 do? It takes your calcium out of your bloodstream. It'll help you even with kidney stones. That's why we put it in our vitamin D. And guess how you get K2? In nature. God put it in cheese and butter. So you eat your calcium with vitamin K2 because it's in butter, calcium, K2. It's in cheese, calcium, K2. You need calcium. You absolutely need calcium, but you don't need it in a supplement. Eat your calcium with K2 because it'll take the calcium and put it in your bones where it belongs. Calcium don't belong in your bloodstream, or at least it shouldn't stay there. It'll calcify your arteries. That's why vitamin D is so good for you. Oh, I could go into it and spend a lot of time, but we're out of time. Okay, those were the questions this morning. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Don't be shy, guys. Ask questions. We have our staff ready to answer your questions. Okay? We do. Get in on the private Facebook group. Ask your questions. Don't be shy. We're here for you. Okay? And we'll do question and answer Fridays. And sometimes Mondays, like we did this week. Okay, guys, we love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.